Wow. So what's up everybody, my name is Jackson from Red Creators, and I must say it has been a very long time. Like, it has been almost 2 months. I'm sorry guys for that. I had to go out. I needed to figure out some stuff. I was working on some projects, and it caught me. I did not have time to produce more content, but I promise I'm going to be producing more content, dropping content every week, just like we promised. So today I'm going to be teaching on how to make a B-roll. I'm just going to roll down a clip, and then yeah, we can see how to make an effective B-roll or a cinematic sequence, like we talked by people like Daniel Schiffer or Peter McKinnon. Actually, this is a Daniel Schiffer inspired B-roll, so enjoy it. Yeah. And there we are, gentlemen. Okay, so the first thing I have to tell you when you're making a cinematic sequence is that you have to get all your details right. You have to know exactly what you're doing. So that's tip number one. Get all your details right. If it's the ISO of your camera, let it be same through so that you don't have inconsistencies like light shifting from one part to another, and it just make the whole thing look scrambled. The second thing you have to realize is that you have to make sure you get the sound design right. Listen to this. Okay, right about here. Wait a second. Yeah, where the knife, when you're sharpening the knife, you have that little sound. It makes everything look look better, and it just makes more sense to have more sound design included in your video than not to have it. Another example is right here. When the water is pouring, as you can feel that motion of water pouring, and it's what helps to tell the story better than if I could just play it back without sound, and just play it back that sound. That's sound design. Yeah, it does not run effectively. It's distracting to your ears. It's more subtle and more. It gives that feeling better when it has that effective sound design. So tip number 2 is sound design. You have to take care of your sound design, and just make it more effective. Just make it more so that your audience can enjoy that sound design. I've put just amazing sound designs, and you can get them at Epidemic Sound. I'll leave the link down in the description below. Just make sure to hit it, and just go and check out their sound designs. Sound design, those transitions, it just makes everything seem better. So yeah, that's tip number 2. So tip number 3, when you're shooting a cinematic sequence, it's always effective to have transitions. Transitions will make your video look better. It will make everything will look like it's seamlessly flowing. So you have to have some subtle transitions. You don't have to have effective transitions to be able to transition from one scene to another. And I'm just going to show you an example of a transition that I put in this video. Just look at this right here. Just a second. Where she's cutting the cucumber, I gave it a transition right there. She cuts the cucumber, then the camera rolls down below the desk, and then it comes back and it reveals another scene. You see, it's just a transition. Rather than putting a cut and just moving to the next scene, it makes it look more cinematic when everything is flowing from one point to another. You go from one scene to the next, and everything just seems awesome. So that's it. Just look at these transitions, yeah. And then another point to transitions is just making the sound match the transition. Like right here, when they're transitioning from this point where she moves the cucumbers with her fingers, and then you are revealed with the cucumbers left. Just look at this right there. You see that sound ding, and then it transitions to the next thing. That just makes everything look more nice. I mean, it's dynamic. Just if I were to remove that sound, let me just remove the sound design, then you can hear it. You just hear it does not have that kick, that thing that makes you wanna view that video as it is. Just listen to this. Let me just cut the sound design, then you can listen to this. It's not subtle. It's not that punchy. That punchy feeling where you get when you're transitioning from one scene to the next, and that just makes B-rolls much better. And that's the point of a B-roll. It's a cinematic sequence explaining a story. We are moving. We want to the audience to see the people we want to view, to get what the story is all about, but we want also them to enjoy it in the process. And that's the reason why we do all these things. We do the transition, then the sound with the transitions, and yeah, that makes it look more effective. It will be tip number 4. Tip number 4 is do something new. Just do something that isn't a common norm. Just do something out of that not most people are doing. Just look at this. I took this trick from Daniel's Schiffer's video. I'm just going to roll Daniel's Schiffer's video after this, just for you to see what I'm talking about. But this is something I saw that it gives more dynamic, more range to your videos, and I think it makes your video look more interesting. Rather than the still shots, the pan side to side shots, you can do a complete follow shot of this. You can do like a tracking shot. Let me just call it a tracking shot. You can do a complete tracking shot of the scene, of the main aspect of the video, like right here when I'm following that tomato with my camera, how she moves it and how she places it on the table. See that there, and then she drops it. I was just like moving my camera from one side, tracking it where she goes, and then bringing it, dropping with it. It makes your scene look more interesting, more dynamic. It has more range, yeah, and that's what we want. It's nothing. It's not common, and such scenes are done with things like a robotic cam, but you can also do that with a handheld movement, and that can bring more range to your videos. And it's all about that, you see. Okay, so introduce something that is out of the norm. Just go out of your way, think of something new, something to like make your videos look more dynamic, and that's what B-rolls are all about. Okay, so I'm just going to tip number 4. That's tip number 4. Yeah, tip number 4. Tip number 4 is you have to focus. You have to maintain your focus on the main aspect of the video. Like, look right here, where she's rolling that tomato. I ensure the tomato is on focus, because that's the main aspect of the video. If I were to like focus on that cooking dress right there, it wouldn't make much sense, because it's not what I want to put across. I want to put across that this is a person who wants to cook something, and she's like preparing the ingredients. So the main aspect of the video will be the tomatoes and the things she's preparing. Yeah, So as for this scene, I used 50mm lens. That's why we have that little blur right there on behind, and it gave me more focus on the main subject of the video, that is this tomato right here being cut. And I think it just gives more depth into the video. Like I said, it's all about depth. It's all about creating something that tells a story, and that's why we use different lenses. So you see, I focused on the tomato, and yeah, so just control the focus point. Okay guys, so this is my final and last tip, and I hope you get something from this. So this has worked for me multiple times, and I think it should be something worth to share with you. And the tip that I'm going to show you is using sound to emphasize action. A good example is this scene right here. She's taking that bowl, and then she's almost taking that bowl and then moving, and then I speed ramp that thing. There's that sound you hear right there. Look at this, just hear this, then that speed ramp right there. That's what I'm talking about, using sound to emphasize action. I also used it somewhere when she's throwing that tomato. You just listen to this scene right here. So she takes that tomato. When the tomato lands on her hand, right there, the tomato lands on her hand, and then it's like there's that sound, there's that beat. That beat is emphasizing the tomato landing on her hand, instead of like putting a raw sound of a thump or a word, like something landing on a hand. You can just use sound or a beat to emphasize that action. I've used this trick, and this trick, I promise you guys, will work amazing for you. You just use sound to emphasize an action, and that will just make your videos top of the roof, and you just be a better videographer for using some creativity like this, and using sound to emphasize action. That's my last tip right there, guys, and I hope you learned something from this video. So just hit that subscribe button, like and comment, and let me just know if you like this type of video. I definitely have more content lined up for you. I have more tips to shoot B-rolls, but I wanted to give it a part 1 and a part 2 type of thing. So just subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell, so that when I drop that part 2 video on how to shoot a B-roll effectively, you can just be there, you can watch it, and you can just tell me how you found this video. So that's for today, guys. Hit the subscribe button, like, and let me know how you found this video. I'm going to leave the link of Peter McKinnon and Daniel's Chifa's channels right in the description below. The amazing guys have learned a great deal from these guys, so just go there, go to the channel, just go and look at the type of content they create, and just grab a camera. Yeah, that's my saying. Grab a camera right now. Go and shoot something. Go and create content. Go and create something awesome today, right now. Right now, I was speaking right now. Grab a camera. Does not matter what camera you have. Just a phone camera, a DSLR camera, a cinema camera. Just grab anything you have and go produce content right now. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Ooh.